Hello friends, welcome to Geeky Lab. So in our last session, we had created a repository on our GitHub account. Also, in order to talk with the repository, we had seen that how to notify GitHub that which user would be interacting with it. And this can be done with the help of git config command. And we can specify the name as well as the email ID of the user so that GitHub understand that which user is interacting with it. So now, in today's session, let's try to understand the concept of staging and commit in Git before we push our code to the GitHub repository. So first of all, let's create a folder from where we would be pushing the code, and let's add some dummy code to it. As Git is used everywhere, that is whether it is a Selenium or Rest Assured or Appium, it does not matter which type of code you put in to the folder so that it is pushed on the repo. This is just for an example. So for demo purpose, we can take any type of code, and always remember that Git is not part of Selenium or Appium or Rest Assured. It's just that it is there for us to share the code amongst ourselves and collaboratively work on a particular project. So let me just quickly go in and just create a folder from where I will be able to put in the code. So I'll just go to my users tab and maybe I'll create one folder in here. So I'll just name it as get start. So let's suppose that this is a project folder and let's copy some dummy code to it. This is a dummy code which I have used for a Maven project. So I would be just copying it in here, just copy and paste it here. So this is just what we want to do, and then we'll see that how to push this to the particular repository that we have created in our last section. Also, it is helpful if you use the git bash to interact with the GitHub. So this is just a simple setup and you can download it while installing the Git. So first of all, let's open git bash and just redirect to the created folder. So this is the folder address. I will just copy it. I'll just go in and I will just put in cd and I'll redirect in here. Okay, just let me check what happened. No, so okay, there is users. Okay, let me check first of all cd. Oh, while pasting, I guess some issues there. Let us see. First, go by folder by folder. cd c slash. Okay, let's see. Oh, some issue. Okay, let's try doing it from our normal command prompt. Okay, so let's go in here, cd, and we'll just type in. Okay, now I'm in the folder. Now, before we do that all, let's tell GitHub that which user we would be interacting it. And so we have done it in the last session, but let's do it once more for those who have missed it. So for this, we have to just specify get config, and then we have to give global. So we are setting this parameter on global level. So user dot name, and we have to give the actual name. So I will put in my name. So it is set, and then get config. I will just set up the email ID user dot email and I'll put in my email ID. Okay, just a minute and just hit enter. Okay, so after we have given a username and email ID, now first of all, if you can see, we will have to do just we'll go and log into our GitHub repository as well. Just give me 1 minute. So once we log in, we'll go to our repository and now we'll just go to the repository section, my repository, and this is the repository which we have created. And now if you can see, there is no code in it, but there are a few commands which would be really handy. So now the first thing we need to do is to initialize the folder so that GitHub can understand about it. So once we initialize our folder, then GitHub would be able to read our local project changes. Also, by default, if you see in this folder, there is one file, that is the init file, is not present, and upon initializing, this file would be created in this particular folder. So let us go and just, so if you can go just to this repository, all the commands which Git already have provided. So we just have to copy this git init command and we have to hit it here. So if you just hit, so if you can see, now we have initialized the folder and now it has created the .git file in that particular location. So if you go in this folder and if we just see the hidden file, so let us check. I'll just uncheck it. And if you can see, it has created this .git folder and the files related to it. So just uncheck it. We don't need this for now. And just a minute. So now before we push, so once this initialization has been done, we need to push the code. So before pushing, we need to understand what staging and commit is. So let's do that with the help of one diagram that we have created. I have created locally. Just close this bash. We will not need it. So yeah, this is the thing. So now, whenever we are developing any project, we are having the source code in here. And now it may happen that there are some files which needs to be pushed to the GitHub because those are completed. And it may happen that there would be some files which are not completed and we don't need to push it. So both these things can be achieved. So the general concept here is, first of all, the source code is being pushed to a stash or a staging area. And from there, it is being pushed to the commit area, and now the GitHub will check, will take only the code which is there in the commit area. So it will not take the code which is there in the staging area. So you can say that stash or staging is the first level of commit, and commit area is the second level of commit. So now we'll see that how we can push the files, a particular file or all the files from this particular local folder to the staging area, and then to commit, and then we will finally push it to our GitHub repository. So for now, to push all the code, we will just have to go in here, and after initialization, we have to check that. We'll have to type git add and start. So once we give star, so it will say that push all the files which are there in this particular folder and then to the staging area. And if you want to just specify any particular file name, just we have to give the file name in here in place of star. It can be like abc.txt, any file name. But for now, we'll be going with full file folder. So I will just put in here. And now if you can see, it has completed the operation. And now if you want to check which files are there into the staging area, we'll have to just go and put this command git status. So if you can see, whatever the file which are there in green, those are the files which are currently in our stash or staging area. So now the next stage is to push this staging or stash files to the commit area, from where it will be picked up by the GitHub and it will be pushed. So for doing this, we'll have to fire another command. So for pushing code from stash to commit, we will have to give this command git commit. Then we have to give -m. So whenever we push the command, whenever we commit the code, we'll have to give some kind of message. Later on, we will be seeing that why we are giving this message. But for now, just give as our first commit and just fire this. So yeah, now if you see, all the code has been committed, and now this is being ready to push to our particular repo. So if you can see in a particular diagram structure, the flow something goes like this. So this is our working directory. So whatever code is there, we will be working upon it, and like everyone will be having their local changes. And these local changes, once we add, it will go to the staging area, and then with the help of the commit command, it will be going into the repository once we do a push. But for now, our code is sitting in here, and we need to give the push command to push it to the repository which is there on GitHub. So right now we will not be able to see the code as we have not pushed it, and maybe we can do that in our next lecture. So I hope the concept of staging and commit here is clear to all. And in the next session, we'll actually see that how to push our committed code to the GitHub repository. And yeah, so that's pretty much for today. Also, if you like this video, kindly leave a comment and please subscribe to my channel for enjoying more interesting videos on different softwares that would be coming in. And yeah, that's all for today. And thank you and have a good day.